my career ended up kind of a roller coaster up and down with, some early success and then some injuries and then some more success and, different things. So it's been, like I said, it's been quite a ride, but all in all, for the most part, it's been great.
On ABC Sports, where you won the one of your 6 U.S. nationals, I believe, and you gave the gold medal to your mother.
No, this is the Worlds.
Was the World? Okay,
yep.
Excuse me.
Yeah, that was my world title in '96. There was something that just kind of spontaneous at the moment. I was like, you know what? And when I was a little kid, I used to do that so I wouldn't lose my medal half the time. But at the time, they were the ones who sacrificed what they sacrificed with, the mortgaging the house and the this, that to pay for the skating and, always being there, always supporting me. And it was as much their medal as it was my medal. So, it was one of those things where, I got the opportunity to share it with them. And, it was awesome. A year before you did that when you got your silver for your dad, right? Yeah. No, I like I said, it's one of those things. The year before, in '95, I was coming off of a real difficult struggle for 2 years. '93, '94 were tough years. I didn't make it to the world team in '93 or '94, and I had some injuries that I was dealing with and stuff like that. So it was kind of difficult. And then finally to get back there in '95, everybody supported me to get back there and to at least get back to the Worlds and see what happened, and then to come out with a silver the first time back, it was pretty awesome. So, well,
it's an amazing story. Your amazing story. How did you keep your head on straight during those down years?
Yeah, it's tough. I struggled a lot of times with doubting myself and doing all that stuff. And you can doubt what you're doing and you can question whether or not it's the right thing, but if you always have something inside you that tells you, that says, hey, you know what, you can still do this, you got to just figure it out. And that's kind of like my personality. if there's something that a task or anything that I'm doing, I hate to leave it before it's finished, right. And I didn't feel I was finished with it. And, so that's why I kind of stuck with it and kept going and stuck with it for quite a bit longer after that too.
6 nationals, a world, silver world. You're the most decorated. Did it ever strike you? You're the most decorated medaled United States male skater. This is amazing.
Well, one of them. I don't know about the most, but I think Dick Button probably has me beat on that, because he's got one more national title and a couple of Olympic golds and all that stuff. So he did all right too. But that's pretty wild, to have 6 national titles and 6 world medals. Competed at the Olympics 3 times. It's pretty awesome, and it's been a great career, and one that I wouldn't trade for anything.
Not many people have really competed. You were in 3 Olympics, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that many have done that, have they?
There've been a few, but not a tremendous amount. It's one of those things, and my Olympics, spanned 10 years apart. 92 was my first and 02 was my last. So it was definitely a long run, but it was fun.
Well, I hate to say it, but it's just kind of a young person's sport.
Oh, absolutely. At my last Olympics in 02, I was 30, and I was considered the senior citizen out there skating. So, but on the same token, at 30 years old, I was actually probably skating the best that I'd ever skated. Technically I was doing the most jumps and I just felt the best at that time and was doing really well. So, whether you're 25 or 26 or 30 or, whatever, or 20, a lot of these guys nowadays, but, it just depends on, what you got inside and how much you really want it.
Abel with the lead over Michael Weiss and Matt Savoy. As Todd Eldredge takes the ice, the 30-year-old from Chatham, Massachusetts, who now trains just outside of Detroit. Can he win his 6th U.S. national title?
Do you ever click on YouTube and see Todd Eldredge?
I have a few times, actually, in looking at, thinking about different, routines I'm trying to do now. in shows, I go back sometimes and think, what did I used to do back then? I mean, I don't even remember half the programs that I did. And, maybe there were certain moves or certain things that I did back then that, would be fun to throw out there now. And I've done that a few times. I've watched a few things, and, it's fun to go back and, go back through all the different decades that I competed and look at the bad hair years and the, all that kind of stuff, and the years when I was real young and a little pudgy.
You landed a quadruple in 2000 in official competition.
Todd will open with his most difficult move first. Here comes the quad.
And I think he is determined to get this done tonight. Here it comes, quadruple toe loop. Yes! Great! That is an incredible barrier to cross for a skater. It is an emotional barrier, and he just crossed it. He has landed a quadruple in competition.
It was the first one for me, and that was exciting. I mean, I was 20, whatever I was at the time, 27, 28 years old. So I mean, that, teaching an old dog new tricks isn't easy, but it was kind of one of those big monkey off your back kind of situations, because everybody had questioned it at the time whether I'd be able to do it, and sure enough, there it was. So.
Did you get that sense because of your age, and there was actually a couple of years you took off, right?
I did, and that was a little bit of that, but it was a little bit more of, I had been doing it for a long time, and I'd questioned whether I wanted to go another 4 years after '98. And I'm like, gosh, it's 4 years is a long time, and I just want to kind of step back, and because '98 was difficult, because I mean, I was one of the guys that was supposed to be in the mix for the podium, and to come fourth, you just miss it by one spot. It's a little disheartening, and so I took a couple of years to kind of just get out and enjoy skating and do other things, and that kind of thing. And then I thought, what, I'm skating pretty well still, and the guys that are out there now, I mean, I feel like I can still compete with those guys, and that's why I decided, hey, what, I'll come back, give it one more shot. I mean, it's Olympics in my home country in the U.S., and just the whole thing just kind of fell into place, and thought, let's do it again.
And you made the team?
Made the team, and I had a bad showing in the short program the first day. I missed 1.5 elements basically, and back then with the scoring system, you do that, you take yourself right out of the event. Now the scoring system is a little bit different. If you make a mistake on one element, you just lose a few points, and you can make up some of those points in the next day. So I like the new system for that. However, back then that wasn't in place, so it was. But went out and skated a great long program there, and did all 8 triples, fell on the quad, but it was a good attempt, and it just felt good to skate a good final program in my competitive career.
And you got a rousing ovation. I remember.
Well, I mean, everybody knew, the story. Everybody knew that I was coming back again, and I was the old guy, and it was going to be my last event. And, just to have it finish that way, and I took an extra few seconds before, my bow, just to kind of soak it all in, because it was, I mean, the place was packed, and people were on their feet, and knowing that was going to be the last event, it was pretty awesome to just kind of sit there and look at the rings and look at the 20,000 people standing up, and it was really cool.
His 17th trip to the national championships. First on the novice level, then the junior level, 12 trips on the senior level. The presentation marks all 5.9. Here's one for the old guys. Todd Eldredge, at the age of 30, has the lead over Timothy Gable, who walks off backstage.
Well, I tell you, I'm glad I was able to come out with that prediction beforehand.
After almost 2 years away, Dickey came back last year with one thing in mind, to get back to the Olympic team. As you look at the Olympic champion from '92, Kristi Yamaguchi, with tears in her eyes. I think Todd's got tears in his eyes right now. He's going back to Salt Lake. He's got the lead right now.
Well, he is such a competitor.